What's up, everybody? My name is Marvin, better known as Ven from the TTV channel, which is a YouTube channel hosted by a team of young creative talent. We've worked on this channel for several years, and while a lot has changed, I am happy to say that we have maintained the same passion for building, collecting, and playing with LEGO that we had all those years ago. And we are more than excited to be able to bring all these qualities with us to the LEGO Live event in New York. There we'll be able to show you some of the cool creations we made out of LEGO Boost. So until then, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the BrickFeed Podcast. I'm Jonathan Juan.
I'm Vardaran Vaughn.
I'm the XX Trooper.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we have a guest today. Actually, if you don't mind introducing our guest to the audience.
All right, he is the coolest sculptor in the streets. He likes Destiny, Marvel, and Fallout, and cool things. And his name is Sander. Welcome.
Hello.
There he is.
Thank you.
Hello.
Another Sander?
Yes, there's two of us now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're multiplying.
50% of this podcast currently is right now Sander. It's pure Sander. So
That's true.
Yeah.
We're outnumbered.
Yep.
Wow.
So you better.
I'm the original, though.
He's the original one. I'm just like a copy.
Were you born first? Are you older than he is?
No, but he trademarked Sander or something.
Yes.
I don't know. He's like the core Sander.
Is that how it happened?
So what are we doing today, kids? You know, what's on the
the agenda today?
Yeah, what's on the
What's
docket?
on the agenda
The
today?
docket,
We're going to
the
go
agenda,
through
the topics. We have a lot of names
the
for
topics
this
that we
thing.
have today.
Yeah.
We are going to go through a couple LEGO news. This is the week of February 8th, 2018, and we're going to go through some articles that have recently come out. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's been a good amount of LEGO crimes recently.
Yeah.
Lego crimes.
I know about. I've heard about these.
Well,
The first one I'm
yeah.
going to is
I
something
heard there was a lot during
from the Daily Mail.
Christmas, like people stealing a bunch of Lego Star Wars.
No, this is just the last week. Actually, 4 days ago, this article was made. A man and a woman have been charged for stealing 47 boxes of Lego. Police charged and arrested a 40-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman in Sydney on Sunday with theft. Lego was originally stolen from several stores, prompting police to raid a home at 2 a.m. Sunday when they found the popular children's toy.
Europe or America?
Wow. Did they
Australia.
steal the Millennium Falcon?
I don't know. Apparently, they link several sets like in the actual article, but there's not really anything like they don't actually tell us which set were stolen. They linked to like a friend set, but I don't know if they're actually implying that was
what a
one of the things that
waste.
were stolen. I know, right? You would
I mean,
think,
it is Australia though. Like Lego is worth like 3 times. It's sold for like 3 times of like the MSRP. It's crazy down there. So
Yeah. Import
It's
taxes
true.
and everything.
yeah. So
they have the import tax and they're so far away from stuff. That makes sense.
I'd hate to be Australian. Sorry, Australians listening out there.
yeah.
Do we know how many Australians we have in our audience? I'm gonna
If
look
you're
this up.
Australian,
I don't know.
put in the comments
actually
below. Hi, I'm
Legitimately
Australian.
curious.
I also want to know: is Kazapars Australian?
No, he's New Zealand, I believe.
Isn't that the same XD?
Is it?
Oh yeah, it is. Haha. The joke works.
What do you know?
Why- Apparently, I've been echoing this entire time. I apologize, everybody. That's why we have Audacity to make sure things go smoothly.
Wait, I don't get. Is it a joke or are they actually the same thing?
I don't know. Sander, you are you.
I don't actually know.
You're an expert, Sander, on this subject. What is?
How
the
am I an expert on this?
I don't know. I'm just
I'm-
throwing you under the bus. I have absolutely no idea what your
Yes,
knowledge is.
I'm waiting for Kazapar to clear the air here. I need to know this.
Wait, what are you confused about?
New Zealand and Australia being the same thing?
No, they're completely
They're
different
not the same
countries.
thing.
Come on.
Okay, well, everyone is acting like it is.
Lord of the Rings
That's a
is
joke.
filmed in New
That's
Zealand?
like that.
I don't live in New Zealand. How am I supposed to know?
I think they filmed The
You're
Hobbit
supposed to know
there,
out of the country. You
Yeah.
learn this in school.
and like Lord of the Rings.
It's like a
Yep.
thing you learn. Just like in general.
I mean,
But,
I
like,
thought it was a different country. That's why I'm confused that people said otherwise.
I think there.
oh,
are
you know
two
how
different
Canada
countries
and
are.
America are the same?
Geography is important, children.
Yeah. You better know where.
To be fair,
places
listen,
are.
Stay in class,
he
kids.
was raised in the American school system, and as far as America is concerned, there are two countries, America and the others.
I mean, listen.
We don't really
Not
talk about
I mean,
America.
listen, you can talk crap about
Not
the American
America.
school system all you want, but apparently they taught me the right information. What they didn't teach me is how to detect sarcasm. That's what they didn't teach.
Should they
Fair enough.
have like sarcasm class? Is that
Sarcasm 101.
that'd be a
I
great
mean,
class?
Honestly, would help a
That
lot
would
of
actually
people
be a
out.
pretty useful
You-
class, I feel.
Yeah.
Especially like
For-
with the modern
for a
day
good
and
amount of
age,
people.
like with the internet and everything. You can't detect sarcasm through like text and like
Text.
chats and stuff, you know?
Yeah, it would be useful for kids to learn.
Yeah.
Twitter's really
Speaking of
hard
stuff
if
that's
you
useful
don't
for
know
kids to learn,
sarcasm.
not stealing. 4 counts of theft for the woman and 3 counts of theft for the man. I'm just wondering, like,
Wait, bring it back.
these people are 20 years apart in age. What?
I was applauding your ability to bring it right back to that initial
thank you.
conversation. It's really good.
These people are 20 years apart in age. I wonder where that conversation was between this nearly 30-year-old man and 50-year-old.
Okay.
You want to buy some
legitimately-
Lego?
I wonder this whenever I hear about any kind of crime duo, right? Like
Bonnie and
how-
Clyde.
Like Bonnie and Clyde, yeah. It's like, okay, you've got one crazy person who's willing to like go out and commit crimes, murder, steal, all that kind of thing, right? And it's like, cool. But what are the odds that this person would meet another person who is completely
Right?
down with doing all this with you, you know?
Is like a Tinder or something for this?
Yeah, right? A crime Tinder?
It's like, hey, I want to steal toys, but I want it's gonna be specific. What? It's just gonna be Lego. It's just gonna be Lego. Yeah,
I'm in. Sign me up.
and then they're matched up. No, we're supposed to be like a good role model for the children, Sander. We're supposed to say no. Stealing is
Listen,
bad.
man.
Yeah, stealing.
I've thought about
stealing
this.
is
I've,
wrong.
I've thought about going like Breaking
Except-
Bad in the Lego gang.
right?
I've wondered about this. It just because, like, I mean, I talked about it on BrickFeed before. Where, like, I returned my lightning jet or whatever, and like Walmart just doesn't care. They just don't care. They don't bother to check.
You know,
They don't bother
it
to like
is
do
so-
anything. And like I remember I bought like a Destiny's Bounty before from Toys R Us, and it was just I got ripped off because like someone had returned a box, like the Destiny's Bounty box with just random parts in it, and Toys R Us just accepted it. They didn't check it. They didn't care. They just put it right back on the shelves.
That
just
sounds
like,
about right.
it's funny that you mentioned this because that is the second thing. Is literally a guy in the same area we are in getting caught
No
for
way.
this.
In the same
Dude,
area,
this is
in Virginia.
in Stafford, Virginia. A Virginia man was arrested and charged in a connection to a Lego-related crime. The man, identified as 30-year-old Christopher Lee Edward Taylor of Stafford, is accused of ordering Legos through Walmart's website. This actually says Legos, not me. I'm quoting the article here, everybody.
Wow, they even
returning the
capitalized
boxes
it, too.
without
They
the
did it
Legos
properly.
for a
They did
refund.
Legos all capital and then a lowercase s.
Right.
I've never seen that before.
Sander, would you consider stealing Lego ever? Is that like something that's crossed your mind that you just want to be
No.
like a Lego criminal?
Not everyone's a terrible
Not
person.
really, no.
Bart, you
I
were
have-
literally
I have-
the one
I did-
that said that you were gonna maybe go Breaking Bad.
I said not everyone's a terrible person. I did not say that I wasn't a terrible
All right,
person.
I just
And
I have
would like to-
shoplifted.
I would like
from
to
from
point
Lego store
out
before,
that I
unfortunately.
thought that it would be an interesting premise to a TV show. It's just like
Let's go steal Lego.
yeah, I mean,
Breaking
like
Bad? Is that what you're talking about?
like, it feels like it's like an industry, like it's a like a crime ring industry waiting to happen, like just exporting Lego, like the grand Lego scam, right? Like I'm expecting to see that in the headlines next week. Like
There
local-
was an article. I'll talk about it after we talk a bit about this one. There's an article by Vice called "Why Stealing Lego Might Be the Perfect Crime," and it's actually become a very lucrative trade in the crime industry. And we're
I
going
can
to get to that
imagine.
in a moment. Yeah, because
This
no,
is-
a lot
what I
of
was
people
thinking, 'cause,
like
like,
use
it-
Lego as like a smuggling thing because they still retain their value internationally.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that
Right.
they're super valuable everywhere, and that's why that like that value is really high there. So like imagine like you go to a Toys R Us, and you return the stupid set that they don't bother checking at all, and you have the set at home, and you can just sell it on eBay afterwards. You're
Oh, totally.
like doubling your
Lego is
profit.
the best cryptocurrency.
Seriously.
what's your favorite crypto? Lego.
I am investing in Brickcoin.
Bitcoin.
Get that thing trademarked,
Um,
TBH.
I am.
Oh
so
yeah,
I,
don't steal stuff, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
Stealing's wrong.
I wanted to
Yes, just a
clarify
joke.
beforehand.
You can
I
be
just,
arrested
mentioned
like
the
this
thing.
Christopher Lee Edward Taylor guy.
I mistakenly once took a minifigure from the Lego store. Remember this far?
I do remember
We were
that,
in
yeah.
your Lego
John,
store.
you were a terrible person. Did you return it?
Well, okay, here's what happened. I can't because I live 3 hours away. It was one of those Minecraft things. There's a ton of them on the shelf, and the guy who was checking me out knocked something over, and I picked it up to give it back to him. And the guy's like, "Oh, do you have a what's it? A VIP card?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." And I reached in my pocket to get that VIP card. Gave it to him, walked out, and it wasn't until I was later. We were either eating or I was on my way home or something, but I was like, you know what?
We were eating.
I have this minifigure still in my pocket.
A likely story. Sounds like the perfect cover-up for stealing
The
a nice...
perfect crime.
It sounds
Well,
Rare
you know, those
minifigure.
Minecraft minifigures have a lot of turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her...
What
turned
do you
around
think
to
really
it for,
valuable, man?
A nice 50-cent profit.
I mean, that just sounds like a really weird story for me, just because I'm picturing it like you're someone drops a Lego minifigure, and then you pick it up from, and then they're just like, "Hey, show me your VIP card."
I remember it because they had this little Minecraft display on the checkout stand, right? But it wasn't behind a glass display case or anything. It was just displayed there.
Amateurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't
there
know.
were
I don't know what they
there
were
were just a ton of minifigures. It was literally just a ton of the Minecraft minifigures. About, I would say, a dozen or two of them.
Yeah.
And so they're just on the thing. And so when the guy he was scanning something and the one of them fell over, and that's when that happened. So it was just kind of but that's my Grand Theft minifigure story.
That's the crime
Theft
ring,
Lego.
the Lego crime
Gonna
ring
get
episode.
arrested now, son.
So this is a really interesting thing though, because we know it was happening. It was happening 2 years ago with your Destiny's Bounty VAR. But people will do this. They will buy a Lego set from Walmart or one of the sets. They will open it up, take out all the parts that are valuable, so the minifigures and maybe some other printed stuff or whatever, and then they'll return it. And then Lego doesn't they'll just say something oh, didn't have all the pieces or something. Those people, they just give you your refund. Or for this guy, they gave him
They'll give you a
him
refund.
gift
Well, I mean,
cards.
see, this guy is... I mean, he's stupid. But at the
He's
same
stupid.
time, it's almost smart, right? Because, with Walmart especially, they just don't, they'll... If you don't... You can take it to a different store and they'll still refund you. It's ridiculous how lax it is. So it's if you just you buy your Lego and go to a different store, they'll just refund you in cards
I
this
mean,
guy
that's
did.
really great because
there were several. Go on.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's really great for a consumer level until you have someone like this that abuses the system.
I get stuff for Christmas or a birthday or something that I already have, and then I can replace it with something newer that I don't have because I'm just hey, can I trade this with some other Lego? They're yeah, and I just give them weird Hero Factory stuff. And
The stupid thing that this guy did is he went to the same store.
Yeah,
The same store again and again and again. And
You
they
don't
caught him on
double
camera
dip.
by
That's the
returning
first
large
Breaking
amounts of
Bad,
dip.
guys.
Yeah,
All right,
first
everybody,
Breaking
all you
Bad.
people trying to
Literally.
break bad, don't double dip.
There's a
Breaking Bad
there's a billion
guidelines.
Walmarts in America. Just go to any
Please don't
other
go
Walmart.
steal things, kids.
Please don't go steal things.
Yeah.
But if you do, don't get caught.
Was he also wearing some huge glasses with a fake nose and a huge mustache as well? Did he just walk into the store hey, I'm not the guy from yesterday. What's going on?
Hello,
He also
fellow
returned it on his-
children.
Hello, Lego
Hello,
errors.
fellow employees. This is an unrelated Lego set. This
Nice.
guy had his own credit card charge, and he put up an eBay account with his own name on it. So
Okay, that's
He was basically just asking. to
Yeah.
get
he
caught.
was like, "Hey, find me."
Hey guys, I'm over here. Come catch me.
That's not a very good way to go about it, to be honest. I don't think he thought that one through.
It's to be a criminal, you kind of have to be a certain level of dumb, right?
Right.
To go through with it.
Well,
So
actually, here's what I'll say: to be a criminal that we hear of, you have to be a certain level of
True.
dumb. We
Got
only
him.
hear about criminals that are
That's
caught.
true.
If you were
absolutely
smart,
right.
we'd never hear about this guy.
Absolutely right. Never mind.
You'll never
That's
hear
very
about
true.
the perfect crime.
No,
Ever.
exactly. Because if it's a perfect crime, no one ever hears about it.
Man. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
Breaking
deep.
Bad. Can we make this a thing? Can we make, not actually a steal thing, but can we make a show, a Breaking Bad the show?
Yeah.
Just put it up on our channel.
There's a
Yeah.
stop
we'll do
motion animation or something. Or no, we can do live action. It'll be a new vlog series. It'll be Road to Brick Fair that we'll never.
Yeah, and then we'll do it
we could do an acted
Breaking
an
Bad.
this own thing about someone stealing bricks and trying to
I just,
run away
that
from law enforcement.
Is actually a really good plot. Like that's a compelling plot, right? It's like one of those things where like you hear the concept at first, you're like, this is so silly, but then you actually like learn about it, and you're like, wow, this is actually really smart.
You
Four
have,
guys
Sander, you have a
run
lot
a dying
of
YouTube channel.
knowledge regarding film.
Decide to break bad.
Yes.
And
by
making
using
series.
bricks.
Do you think this will go on? Do you think this is like Netflix worthy? Do you think we're onto something here? Do you think
With Lego?
Yeah, the Lego Breaking Bads.
Oh.
No?
No.
What? No. Oh, okay. Well, there you
He's
go.
so honest. I love it.
Yeah, John was just in the background,
the honesty.
like putting up like a contract and everything, and was just going to work, and then it's like, no, it's
Hired
called off.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be good for a
Shyamalan.
series because
No.
it'd just be like a plot revelation every single episode. It'd just get kind of. Do you have like a whole list of just Lego crimes, John?
He's
Yeah,
been doing
well,
his research, man.
Is that what
I've been
this
doing my
episode
research.
is?
Listen, we're trying
this-
to make Breaking Bad a thing.
It already is a
I
thing,
just want to
apparently.
talk about this. It's a very interesting subject. This Vice has a whole article called "Why Stealing Legos Might Be the Perfect Crime." Again,
Yeah, I
using
saw that.
Legos instead of like a brick. But this was posted like last year, to be fair, so it's not a recent article. But it was mentioned in one of the articles by that just happened recently. But just to like toss out some more Lego crime ideas. 5-person team was arrested in San Diego for taking more than $15,000 worth of toys, mostly Lego. In 2014, Phoenix cops busted an even bigger ring and seized 200,000
Oh
of
my gosh.
illicit Lego.
It does exist. Wow, there are like Lego like drug rings, basically.
To drug rings.
The inner circle of the Lego mafia.
Sniffing one-on-one studs.
Hey, you got any bricks? Really use some of the bricks.
Nice.
There were like this one lady stole $59,000 worth of Lego, 800 Lego sets from a customer space at a local storage facility where she was renting. She moved the play sets to a different storage facility in Rockville Center, listed them for sale online. They traced the back to her and got her.
Freaking there you go.
I'm looking at
freaking listing it online. Even if you got ripped off by like the eBay transactions or whatever, like the bid didn't sell very high, you're still like making profit. That's insane.
You stole them. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I'm curious to know how they trace back to her though.
That is interesting. I think they might have like used cameras maybe or something like that to like on the
eBay?
storage facility.
Oh.
Not on eBay.
They're watching you.
The NSA hunting down the Lego thieves. Ooh.
This guy named Thomas Martin, who runs a private investigative service in Southern California, told ABC News, Legos are like gold. Again, just a quote. Every child wants them. They last forever and are passed down through generations.
Really? Is that what you do with gold?
Pass
Kids
it
love
down,
playing
dude.
with the gold ingot. Oh,
Rings,
yeah.
You're
Action
a group
features.
of 5 people allegedly stole toys from 5 Toys R Us stores in San Diego 30 times, sometimes more than once a day.
You know
So-
how like in Fallout, bottle caps are the currency?
Yeah.
I can already
A
see it now.
post-apocalyptic future,
Lego
our
bricks.
currency is going to be Lego bricks.
Lego bricks.
That could legitimately be true.
What,
at this
that-
rate.
I mean, like,
So, like,
kids
the
need something to
second
play
the
with.
world goes Fallout 3, like, Lego is used as currency.
yeah, I mean, it makes
Yeah.
more sense than bottle caps. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I don't really know why bottle
Well,
caps are the thing chosen.
Aren't
Like,
they,
they're
like,
kind of
getting
like
obsolete?
It's because of it's lore. It's because there's
wait,
only
lore.
a certain amount of them left, and there's no way to make them anymore. But there's some regions in the Fallout universe where they're not used because there's a lore reason behind it.
Oh, okay.
What's the short version?
The Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay, I got it.
in the territory they were in, they used bottle caps.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
There you go.
All
There's
right, I'm gonna go with my
some...
last Lego crime story before I wrap up here.
Okay.
All right.
I was
the
getting fun here
two-
with the crimes.
$200,000 and Lego recovered. 4 people arrested. The Lego was stolen from various Toys R Us stores. They recovered a total of 200,000 Lego playsets from one of the suspects' home. They are all in their 30s or 40s. And basically what happened, what they did is that They were seen entering multiple Toys R Us stores, selecting Lego sets valued at $99 or more, after which one of them would remove the theft detection device and then damage the packaging. The pair would then either place the sets in large gift bags or pile gift bags over the merchandise before wheeling out the store in a shopping cart without setting off alarms.
How the heck did they get away with that?
Wow.
200,000 sets?
How are they not caught sooner than that? That just seems...
Just
here's
imagine
what
meeting
happened.
That's
them.
just, that's
He
just normal
reportedly
theft. That's just straight
I
up theft. They just stole it out of, like, from the
They just
aisle and
it out.
just
Yeah,
walked out
I
the
think
store.
they bought like other stuff. Like they must have bought things to like cover around the.
They were able to do that 200,000 times before they got caught? Are you serious?
Well, I mean, it's not 200,000 times, $200,000.
It's like, hey, those
in
guys
Lego.
are here for the 400th time. Something's going on here, but I can't
They
put my finger
legitimately
on it.
stole. They legitimately stole from.
They've been here a lot, you know? They really
They stole from a Toys R Us more than once
Our
a day.
inventory is like flying off
No
the
one,
shelves.
no one cared.
What's going on here?
Where's the money?
Where-
Man, our business is really tanking. I don't know what keeps happening to our
Like, look
inventory.
at
yeah, our inventory of Lego keeps going
Like,
down.
they're dropping it on the floor and stuff.
I like to think of this guy. He goes over,
I
he takes
dropped the
over
stolen goods.
the
Oh,
giant
thank you.
Star Destroyer, cuts off the thing and
Thank
punches
you,
the box. You know,
oblivious employee, for helping me. Okay, I'll be on my way now. I'll see you later.
They call it a toy shop raid. A raid.
What on earth?
That sounds
dude?
so serious, like 50% serious.
Yeah.
18 pallets
the toy
of
shop
Lego,
raid.
3 truckloads worth were seized from Culler's home and
Oh
storage
my
units.
gosh.
And he would also what he also did is that he would buy the sets and then like damage the box and then use the receipts to return the stolen sets with the damaged packaging for a full refund.
Wow.
Okay, so he damaged the box and just would he take the set out of it?
This is what the article is telling me, and it's very weird because I don't know how they did this. I'll read it to you again.
Crystal,
He
like,
also
how would he make a
reportedly
profit
bought
in
Lego
that
sets
case?
worth hundreds of dollars, used the receipts to return the stolen sets with a damaged packaging for a full refund. Holmes said Culler was clearing around $300 a set through this practice and by selling the sets online. So I think
So he
if it
would
was,
steal the set out of the box then.
he would steal the set, I guess, and then like sell
They
that
wouldn't
online
check?
and then get a full refund.
This
Well,
box is a little
They
light.
don't. We know this. We returned a set to them, and they
yeah,
didn't
but
check.
like the guy that ripped us off though went through the effort, right, of opening up the box really carefully, taking all the pieces out and then refilling the bags with fake pieces or like other pieces, and then he resealed the box as though it was brand new.
That's true.
These guys, like, they're dropping sets on the floor. Damn it, like, just busting open the boxes, taking the things out, and then just giving them an empty, destroyed box for a refund. And they're not
the
gonna,
perfect
like,
crime.
be like, man, this is really weird. This is, like, the 5th damaged box they brought back today.
Well,
Something's
it's so weird
off
to me
here.
because I have never been in a Toys R Us that's crowded when it's not Christmas time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you go to a Toys R Us right now, and there are 5 employees and you. That's how that Toys R Us is there right now.
Right.
So it's really weird to me that, like, someone could get away with this. None of the employees were like, let's check up on the one customer in our store. who
Right,
comes
that's what I'm
here
thinking.
multiple
It's like
times a day.
they weren't doing anything shifty. They just straight up took the set off the store shelf and stole it. They just walked out with it. How did they not get caught?
Dude, imagine being in prison and just being like, hey, what are you in for? Oh, I was part of the Lego Star Wars crime ring, just...
What are you in for?
That's some
I'm
real
in
street cred right there.
I'm in
Yeah, I
for
know.
stealing like 200 starfighters or something. Just what, man?
Made $200,000 off
Yeah.
selling stolen Lego.
Your kid want a Millennium Falcon? I can get him a Falcon.
I could get him one.
Just go into detail. Oh yeah, we just returned the boxes. They didn't give it. They didn't care. We just
There's not a Millennium Falcon in here.
Got a secret stash of Lego bricks hidden under my
Wait a
cell
second.
floor.
just the
Wanna
last
take a look?
boxes.
That's no
It's just full
Falcon.
of rocks. They're just like
He has
shake
them
it.
like he has like a whole like system importing Lego into the prison so that he can sell them to like other inmates.
Like, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
I'll
Give me
scratch
one of those.
There's a guy in like a
I
dark
know you
corner.
were craving that new Millennium
exclusive
Falcon.
60th anniversary sets. Give me one of those.
There's like a guy in a dark corner with like the coat, and then he's like, "Hey, you want some of this?" And then you like see like those old Lego Star Wars like collectible thingies that you had in every level. Like it's like,
Hey,
you want
kid,
some
this is
of
only
these?
at Comic-Con. You can't get this stuff anywhere else. They only released 2,000 of them
Exclusive
at Comic-Con.
SDCC minifigure right here. I know you want it. Oh my
You want the
gosh,
collector?
dude.
I got the collector.
He can even
my
like
gosh.
make like a shiv out of like a princess. Someone tries to screw with
Dude,
him.
some of those sets they can get pretty sharp, dude. Like the wing pieces.
That's a scene from Breaking Bad where the guy's in prison and they send him a Lego set, and like inside the Lego set is like a lockpick and like and 2 shivs, and he's like, "I'm busting out of here tonight."
No, dude, they ship in Lego parts over time, and then he eventually makes like a tool or something that looks like a weapon.
yeah,
A
they keep
giant
exactly.
pickaxe.
And then he
Built
gets
it
it
up.
out.
Oh my gosh. Are you sure
like-
Breaking Bad doesn't sound like a good idea? It sounds like a pretty good idea to me.
No, Sanders said no.
It's
He's
like
an
Shawshank
expert
Redemption.
on
They
this.
go and they're like, he has all the Lego sets to the side, and they're like, "Wait a second!" And they pull the Lego sets, and like there's a hole in the back, and it's a tunnel, and it leads outside. He's been like scraping it with the plastic bricks the entire time.
With
Oh my
Don,
god,
our-
Aladdin
our-
just made a new meme. Look at
Yeah, I
this.
saw that. Wait, why'd you remove that?
Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
It
Maybe he
disappeared.
made a typo or something.
Oh, okay. BRB.
All right, well-
I mean, I don't know why I said BRB. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
yeah.
Ladon.
Ladon's
You are
fixing
a
it. We'll
great
throw it up
person. We love you. Claps.
That's basically all the Lego news that we have to talk about this week.
You just
Seriously?
that was their Lego news this week. Just a bunch of crime.
Just a bunch
Yeah,
of
well,
crime.
Because
Nothing else.
here's the deal.
Wait,
There
okay,
has
hold
been-
on. I have a question for you, John.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we talk about Toy Fair images?
Any photography coming out of Nuremberg, I believe, is not allowed. That's what we're, and additionally, we are going to be at New York for Toy Fair. We're not, and so I was like, we might want to save discussion until we actually see those, possibly, or we might be able. There's
why would we save
Nuremberg and
discussion
there's
for when
London.
the news is old?
Well, London comes out next week, so we can talk about London.
Why can't we talk about Nuremberg?
Curse
you.
We gotta
Because Big Boy John says no.
because that's how the cookie's gonna crumble.
There are
Yeah.
so many
Right.
things worth talking about, though.
I know.
There's really only one thing that I want to talk about, so whatever.
But you got other things to talk about today. We got ourselves a master sculptor of
We do.
of
I wouldn't say
minifigure.
master.
Yes, you are. Don't get all humble. You know, you
This is Ladin's
should
mean
shine
face.
because you're the guest. He's the first guest on the BrickFeed Podcast, and this is what everyone has been waiting for. We're here with Stander from Flickr and probably some other places as well. And why don't you have like a short summary of what you're all about for the people that like just tuned in that don't know who you are?
Okay, I'm Sander. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Belgium. I've been sculpting for 5 years. Before that, I made figures with Sharpies and stickers.
Oh, did you Sharpie like your different clone legions on
In-
mock
at
pages?
the
Were you
start-
that guy?
Yeah, at the start, yeah. I was
Okay.
one of those guys.
Humble beginnings. I was there too. So we sort of had the same beginning, and then we have because I also did minifig customization, and then you went the sculpting route, and I've gone the decal route. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep. Over the years, I've also built some stuff, but nothing really significant. I mainly upload pictures of sculpts and graphic designs I make in my spare time. That's about it.
That's cool. So, which website are you like most active on? Has it always been Flickr? Like, did you start like a little bit on mock pages and then it didn't hit off until Flickr? Or
I started primarily on mock pages. I had a YouTube account with 1,200 subscribers.
Ooh.
Not a lot. Well, I started on mock pages with my clone troopers. Actually, no. I remember my first custom minifigure was a Predator minifigure with stickers with decals from a guy that's still active on mock pages. That was my first figure. I don't have that one anymore, which is a shame. I really like that one.
Oh yeah, because I remember you made like a sculpt version of Lego Reaper. But onto like the whole sculpting thing. I want to post a picture here. I want you to go through the process of making this particular minifigure right here.
Okay.
So
if it loads,
there you go. This is the kind of sculpting that Sander does, and it is amazing. It is incredibly high quality, and
oh man,
yeah, it's a lot of detail.
We actually talked about this before.
Yeah, with
on
like
the extra mock.
I think
this particular minifigure.
I don't know about this minifigure, but like
I don't know if it's this particular thing, but like it was included in the lots of stuff that X was giving to us. I remember because Meso was like, "Hold up now." Meso, he's one of our cast members. He's not here today, but he absolutely loves skulls and anything to do with skulls, and he loved this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So this is really cool, though.
Thank you.
Huh.
So the way I usually start with figures is, well, I have to like something first, of course. I don't make anything I don't like or don't love.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I want to make, but don't have the like. I have to make a click with a certain character or a certain person or a robot or something to be able to make it.
Yeah, like you need to like it a certain degree to be able to like, I'm going to dedicate everything of myself to like make a minifigure from this. You need to... Exactly.
I have to like 100% of the character design. If I only like 99%, I'm not going to make it. Because I want to dedicate myself to this one figure for this certain amount of time and put as much detail into it as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So this minifigure here, though, is that like an actual Lego body in there somewhere?
Somewhere, yeah.
Okay, so these are these hand sculpted?
Yes.
Oh my. How do you work at that scale, though?
Go ahead.
No, just
you
explain. You explain how you do all this.
How
the
I
expert.
work at this level? Surprisingly, with a Swiss pocket knife.
No, you don't.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I get this question quite a lot. I've been on a few other podcasts before, and they always ask me this question: what tools I use? I use a Swiss pocket knife, a handmade needle thing, and a few needle files. I actually bought an X-Acto knife because a friend of mine advised me to get one, and I hate working with it. I absolutely despise it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this sculpting material that you have here, is it like you have to put it in the oven for it to become solid or something?
It's called Procreate. I buy it from Germany. It's not available in my country, unfortunately. It comes in two components. Like it's a light gray and a dark gray, and you have to mix a certain amount of them, 50-50, and then sculpt. There's I have a 1.5 hour working period, which is more than enough for me.
You finish one of these in an hour?
Oh, no. I work in layers.
Oh.
That specific Ghost Rider figure took about 2 months to make.
Wow.
How many layers? How many sessions?
I have sessions? That's a good question. I know I made it over a span of 2 months, but I don't remember how much I actually worked on it in those 2 months. Well, a lot, obviously, but I remember redoing the legs a couple of times too.
So have you considered painting this guy, or is he still just left gray on your shelf?
I used to paint figures, but I kind of like how they look with just the bare sculpt. I tried to paint this very figure actually, but I am not a good painter at all. Not on minifigure scale. Well,
I disagree wholeheartedly as we get into this minifigure here, which is one that you've not only designed and sculpted, you've actually painted it every single detail as well.
Oh my gosh.
And the last the end result on this one, this I guess is a very huge passion project.
This just looks like a nightmare to work on.
It was. the best part about the figure, the arms can actually bend.
Oh wow!
So I used, the Lego Hailfire droid sets with the tires from
Yes.
Star Wars? Yeah, I used those hinges for the arms.
I have no idea how to see that whatsoever. There is just so everything is just so
I don't-
altered there.
Hold on, I gotta
Yeah.
look this up. Fire droid.
How did so? Wait, you say the arms actually the arms can bend? How did you
Yes.
how do you achieve that?
Well,
What
with
is
the Hailfire droids, like the hooks can connect to the inner supports, and they actually give enough friction for it to stand still in a certain position. But I've started on something else.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I started on something else. Can I post pictures in the chat, or do I have to link?
Oh yeah,
them?
totally. Just
If you just link them to Flickr, it pops up for a preview.
it's
of
not
them.
on. It's
Yeah,
not on
it'll auto
Flickr. This is a
okay, sure,
exclusive.
just
look.
upload them.
Oh yeah, just put it in the
Ooh,
chat. Just click and
Nice.
drag.
Yeah, just put it in
Show
the chat,
us.
and now I can get that up there.
Hang on, it's loading. There we go. Oh, okay, I was just gonna link it. Where is this? I'm working on a. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Star Wars too much.
A bit. I'm kind
Just a
of
little
heard
bit.
of it.
Maybe I've
Is
heard
there
of it.
like stars in it? And there's-
Maybe talk for 5 days straight about the last movie.
Picard's my favorite.
Hell yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'm a big fan of the older Star Wars movies and the games, specifically Knights of the Old Republic. It's my favorite game. And in this game, there's a specific droid that I absolutely love.
Oh,
no,
is it
I made
HK?
Revan. It's HK, yeah. I made an HK-47 before.
Oh, people in the chat are freaking out.
Oh, dude!
Oh,
Did you
man.
make another HK? Because I've seen your old one.
I'm working on a new one.
Oh, dude! But the
I'll
old
send it in
one's
a
so
second.
great. How can you even top that, dude?
Wait, okay,
Because
X, can you,
that's the
can you find
thing,
the old
that's-
one real quick? Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
find the
looking
old one
for
real
it
quick
right
before
now.
he gets the new one? And so, like, we can look at the old one, and then we'll
Oh,
see
yeah,
what
okay.
Well, the new one's
Yeah, yeah.
not anything special yet. That's
Well-
a project I've started in July.
Post
I'm
some
gonna
pictures
post the
from our
old
game,
one.
just so you can
I posted
put that
it
up
in
on
the
the
chat
stream.
already.
Oh, okay. Preview's not popping up for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
This
but
is
yeah,
the actual the droid
Whoa.
from
it definitely shows
Star Wars.
in your
And
passion projects. Like, I can very much understand how much like you love Star Wars: The Old Republic and Fallout, and it really shows in your figures how much
This looks
detail and
amazing.
dedication.
Thank you. So I'm actually not happy with that figure anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, you have.
I still like it, but it's I can do better now. I learned new techniques that allow me to add more features. One of the features is fully posable arms in the way they can move in the games.
Oh
And
yes, you mean like
I
I
I'll
can't
post it
think
in
of.
the chat.
Can't think of what that elbows basically.
Elbows and turning arms and everything. A friend of mine, Andrew Vu, who I'm going to mention a couple of times, showed me the way of magnets. 1 millimeter magnets
Oh.
are perfect for arm
Magnets?
joints.
So-
really?
So this figure
Yes.
that you're working on right now has magnets for joints.
oh,
Yes.
That is so clever.
that is so. Okay, so can you like take the arm off and then like disconnect
Yeah.
it and then?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
If I
that
can,
is
That is-
very clever.
let me show you. Actually, it allows for many ways to pose him, which is why I'm making a new version.
You're just gonna keep the. I really like the old one though because it actually looks like what he would look like if Lego made it. It's one of the few things in your stream that actually
Still looks like Lego.
Yeah, still looks like resembles Lego. Like like everything else just sort of have like a very much your stylization to it, your sort of characterization on it. So
Yeah.
wait,
Hang on,
so
I'm just
are the
posing my
legs-
figure right now.
are the legs like connected? Like, how are they connected? Are they just placeholders or something, or are they like magnets in them or something?
No. The legs. There's a problem with the legs, which is a problem Andrew also encountered. He made a K2SO figure, and he wanted to make bending legs, so he tried to use magnets, but the problem with the legs is the magnets actually attract to each other, so the legs aren't they aren't. I can't think of the word. They aren't straight. The legs won't be straight when the material is dry.
All right.
Yeah, they're too close together. Exactly.
Before we go on, by the way, we just have like a live question from the studio audience on YouTube. It's a very important question from Billy the Beaver, and he asks you, Sander, do you like avocados?
No. I'm sorry.
There you go. That's your answer right there.
Right.
So yeah, moving on.
I'm so like I'm just completely blown away with this magnet thing. I think that's actually a really cool.
Yeah, that's ingenious. I never would have thought about that.
That's a really cool aspect. I don't think Lego really does any work of magnets, and up until now
they used to like do a little bit with like their trains, but like in general with what they do, like definitely not at that scale.
Well, the old Super Star Destroyer, the UCS set had magnets to attach the panels.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was quite clever little thing that you do. Also, that's actually a really good question from Wadon. He asks what is your favorite creation that you've made so far? Is it the HK or is it a different one?
It used to be the HK, but I'm working on something that I think for me is going to be my favorite
all right,
figure.
what is your favorite that you have finished, Sander, that is on your Flickr stream, all right?
Now
I'm very specific. Because I quite like a lot of these.
I always go back to my Bosk, because that head, every time when I make something new, I put them together with all my other figures, and Bosk just keeps sticking out for me. I think it's one of my all-time favorites that I made already.
Yeah, that thing would be incredibly great though if you actually managed to paint it.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that one before.
But there is such a level of detail on that thing though.
Yeah.
Look at this.
With the scales and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, that is just incredible.
It's interesting because it's like you basically transformed this sort of art form, or from like Lego into your own thing entirely.
Yeah. How did that go about? How did because I know that like some of your early work somewhat resembled Lego, but like over time you just kind of made this own style, and that's probably largely what your Flickr following is based on.
For LinkedIn official boss.
For comparison.
This
puts that Lego one to shame.
Yeah. So how did you sort of develop this style where you wanted like a ton of detail and like they basically didn't even look Lego anymore? How did it turn into that basically?
It kind of just happened on its own, honestly. I kept pushing myself for more detail and more, and then I ended up with this.
Well, you say that, like I'm looking at this picture here from 2011, which I remember seeing. Do you think that the work from Hazel back in the day largely inspired you to do the style that you're doing with all the detail? Do you think that's kind of like a...
No, well, Hazel had some cool stuff, but he wasn't my main inspiration. My main inspiration still is one of my good friends, Picovam, also called Andrew, and his buddy Pedro. They used to own a store and sell like Halo armor sets. They don't sell them anymore, unfortunately. But they were my main inspiration. I always disliked how bulky their armor looked, so that's kind of why I started making my own so it could look less bulky. That's really why I started sculpting stuff myself, and because it was cheaper.
Yeah, I can see it.
The sets, I remember one set of costing about $40. That's just a helmet and just an armor piece.
And you guys kept complaining that like a whole figure with accessories and everything was $20 at BrickFeed. And
Well, it
then
wasn't
there-
me. I wasn't at BrickFeed.
No, I'm talking about Var and John.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
We sure did.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that there's basically like a community within the Lego community, within the customization community, in which there's a little community where they kind of like try to push the boundaries in terms of detail and sculpt. Like at some, do you think that it goes too far to at some point in which like it's not even Lego anymore? Have you like sat down?
I get that comment all the time, but for me, it doesn't really matter if it looks Lego anymore. That was weird to say on a Lego stream, but I make figures for myself. I don't make them to appease a fan or
Right.
I just make them for myself. If I'm not happy with something and the people are happy with something, I'm going to redo it because I'm not happy with it.
I mean, what you're doing is essentially art more so than actual Lego, because you're sculpting and forming and creating 100% yourself. You know, so that's insane.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the sort of transformative nature of all this stuff. I think that really appeals to me versus like other custom minifigures that I see. I like that you're not really trying to continue with the idea of making it look like an official Lego thing. I think that makes this way more unique and interesting.
Yeah, I used to be like that though. I used to try to make it look like Lego, but now I just threw that in the bin and said, "Oh, let's do my thing.
Yeah.
Let's see how far I can go."
So you mentioned that you don't need to like bake this for it to dry and harden or anything. Okay.
Nope.
How long does it usually take before it's like fully complete, like and solid?
Well,
Like,
if you go
it even
by,
is solid.
it's solid. Yeah, it's solid.
Okay.
It's in some aspects, it's stronger than ABS when it's dry, but it depends how it dried. Like if it
Right.
dries in a cold environment, it's gonna be a little harder than when it dries in a warm environment. Chemistry,
Okay.
I guess.
Gotcha. So do you have to like store it a certain way in between your like sessions to keep it from drying?
Well, that's the thing working with layers. When people ask me if I have any tips for them, I always tell them to work in layers. Because with layers, you
Just
can
like
add
on
more
Photoshop.
detail. Yeah, exactly. You can add more layers of detail and do more stuff when you work slowly and when you work with layers.
So by layers, do you mean like see you work one area, then you kind of let it dry, and then you come back to it with like a new layer of okay. I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that way you can give that first area as much detail as you want, and then you can put additional detail on top of that. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
Exactly.
So do you have any like beginner tips in terms of commonly mistakes in terms of getting into sculpting? Like if someone wants to sit down and they want to try and sculpt this level of detail and like try to make their own figures like this, do you have any like cool tips and tricks for people starting out?
Well, as I said earlier, work in layers. Take your time, because this is something for which you need a lot of patience, and I mean a whole lot of patience.
What do you do when something goes wrong? Do you just
I just
add a new
redo
layer?
it. No, if something, it depends how wrong it goes. If
The
I can
level of
salvage
wrong.
it, the level of it depends on the level of wrong. If something is completely unsalvageable, I'll just cut it off and redo it. Because I don't go for 99% right, I try to go for 100% right. If the shape is off, like the Bosk figure, the head took me about 4 tries to get the shape right.
Oh
It's-
man.
It's takes a while. And another tip. There was something else I wanted to say as a tip, but I don't remember.
Well, until you're able to pop that back into your mind, I have like another creation in which I want people to see, and that is this
Yes.
Terminator minifigure that you did, which I think also is like an outlier in your work.
I want to redo that one too.
You want to redo all your stuff because you just want it to
man.
be better and better and better. There's no stopping.
Well, I've been there before where it's kind of like, you no matter how good people say your thing is, you're like, you know what? It's not that. It's I could still
I could
still
do
go
better.
back. I could still do it better, right? Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
learned so much doing that thing that I could go back and make that thing better if I had to do it again.
So, Sander,
Exactly.
this is a personal question because I want to know, how did you make that head? What is the base from that head? Or did you just
I'm
make
curious with that as well.
Yeah.
I can't take
look-
credit for the base of the head because there's a guy on Flickr called Guy Himber. I'll look him up real quick. I have it open. I have Flickr open. He sells these really cool minifigure scale skulls, and I purchased a few of them.
Does he make like a mouse and like
Yeah,
different
that's
animal heads as well? Yeah.
Interesting, Harold.
Yeah, he makes these really cool skulls. And when I saw he made skulls, I immediately thought, oh, I want to make a Terminator. Well, no, actually, I saw Richard's Terminator, and then I said I want to make a Terminator, but I had no idea how to do it. So I waited a bit, got a few ideas, and then I saw this guy made skulls. So I bought a few of them and heavily modified it to get the right shape for the eyebrows and the cheekbones.
All right, so I'm trying to find like a picture of that one skull to like see what the base looks like. Do you
I originally thought it was going to be like the Flash helmet,
Oh, no. no, no.
but I don't think they.
I can see why, though. I can see why.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, it's my untrained eye looking at the eye holding me like that kind of looks like something, right? And so that's why I was like, oh. But-
I just want to find a picture of this skull. Where is it?
Is it the same skull that's featured on this picture, like at the very bottom there on the ground?
Oh,
a
yeah,
different
that's
thing?
the one. That's the one. But the
Okay.
one, yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a chromed one. Yeah.
Okay, so it did not have like a bottom jaw on it at all?
No, the skull you see on that picture, the original one, has a jaw, but I personally thought it was a little too small. There you go. I posted the picture of the original.
Oh, okay.
I bought mine in black, though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. So there's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's like there you go. There's like a ton of vendors out there that you never even knew about.
But I modified mine heavily. I cut out the eyes and resculpted the side of the skull because the original is it's not wide enough, the eye sockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. The eye socket is definitely wider in the
Yeah.
So, Sander,
Yes.
what is happening around you right now? Because this is all of your previous work.
Yes.
But what is, and we've had like a little bit dip into some stuff that you're working on. Is there other big things happening on the Lego side of things? Are you associated with anyone on any projects? Anything big going on there?
Yeah, actually, I'm in talks with someone. His name is Andrew Vu, AV Figures on Instagram and Flickr, and we're gonna try and get a line of Star Wars helmets that I sculpted out and cast and mold them and put them up for sale on his website.
Ooh.
One of
That
the
sounds cool.
helmets I did in the past, or two helmets that I did in the past with him, are the Kylo Ren helmet and a custom Stormtrooper helmet. Both
I really like
were
that
sculpted.
Stormtrooper helmet, just because
Yeah.
it's very different from.
It's to me it's the perfect scale
yeah,
for a
here's
Lego figure at least.
yeah, there's the Kylo Ren figure, and here is the Stormtrooper.
We look at
The
the
Kylo
Oh, I
Ren
like that
helmets
Stormtrooper
are
helmet a lot.
currently out of stock, and the Stormtrooper helmets will be up for sale within the next 2 months. He recently bought a vacuum chamber, so he'll be able to get perfect casts out.
Nice.
Yes.
That is really cool. So you not only are you able to mold things, you are actually able to produce stuff.
Yeah.
Like these are like casts for things that you can actually make and sell.
Yeah. Exactly.
Interesting.
So you're actually going for the whole not building Lego for a living, but making custom accessories for Lego minifigures for a living.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to
won't
the
make
website.
I won't make full figures because that will be incredibly hard to cast, and they will be very expensive. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
It will
this is
just
very
be
like
accessories.
collectible.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
helmets.
You're aiming for like people who want just the best type of detail in figures, like some very collectible
Exactly.
items. That's what you're aiming
Yeah.
for. That's the kind of stuff here. So if you're not happy with the amount of detail that you see on the Lego minifigures and you want something with a little more oomph, then there you go. There you want to get to AV figures? Is that what they're called?
AV figures. Yeah, his name is Andrew. He's a great guy. He helped me out a lot. I actually, I made a deal with him for the Stormtrooper helmet. He made me one of my favorite clone troopers from Star Wars, Captain Fordo. He actually threw in a free figure for me for like to have both versions of said character. He's a great guy, and his stuff is pretty cheap for the amazing quality.
Yeah, I'm going to look at
that
the final
Aloy
first
minifigure on
collection,
the front page is so adorable.
which is actually really cool.
I sculpted the hair for that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Awesome.
Oh, I'm going to scroll down and make sure the
Which
audience can
guy?
see it.
Which person?
That is
Aloy.
it's,
Horizon.
from
Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh,
Posted
yeah.
it. I'll make sure you
Oh,
can
I
see
haven't
it.
played it, but she's cute. I like it.
Well, the texturing is really good. Even on it resembles that actual hair in the game very well.
Thank you.
And I love the cloth elements it was on the minifigure as well. It's really cool.
So we've talked a lot about the Lego side of things there, but there's some other cool interests that you have as well, like some mild cosplay that you're working on. Do you want to talk a little about that, Sander? Because I think that's pretty interesting.
Sure. It mainly, I'm interested in cosplay, primarily Fallout and Star Wars stuff. And I've been working on a Fallout costume for the last 3 years. Yeah, we're 2018. The last 3 years. It started with a NCR Ranger helmet. I'll post a picture of my first version of the costume in the chat in a moment. And I've been slowly building on top of that.
I think this is very peculiar and like a bit ironic even, is that you're very steady with your hands and really like sort of like making stuff by hand and lots of detail and stuff. And you're either making like immensely super tiny minifigures or just big costumes for your entire self. Like there's nothing in between there. It's either incredibly tiny or huge. So
well, it's funny you mentioned that. I've actually started a project. I'll show that in a moment. A 15 centimeter. I'm sorry, I don't know how much that is in inch. A small statue of a Fallout an NCR Ranger. I'll show that in a moment. It's not much,
okay.
But I made quite a bit of progress on that already.
Cosplay is one of those things that is just so impressive that I can't, for me to even think about how to get started and to get that done, to get into the thing as a whole is just kind of I could maybe do the cosplay when you it's like characters that are just wearing normal clothes with a certain logo on them. You know what I'm saying? Where like Dipper Pines or something, where I just need the hat and the t-shirt or something. But anything other than that, it's it blows my mind. I saw that Rooster Teeth documentary becoming
look at
Destiny
this.
Negri.
I like that.
Man, that looks
Thank you.
Must be
pretty
warm.
legit. I love
around
that
those
helmet.
stuff.
Well, there's actually electronics in the helmet. There's a military flashlight and a infrared light. That's the red light that's burning, but there's also a fan on the inside that blows, that ventilates the helmet entirely. So it was actually, I wore that helmet for 6 hours, and it was actually colder in my helmet than it was on the floor itself.
That's some high tech.
It was just a computer fan.
Nice. Oh. Well,
I'm also making some Star Wars stuff, but I haven't made much progress on that. One moment.
Peel is asking if you've made anything from KOTOR that you have or will make, and I just stumbled across some of your earlier stuff. I was scrolling through your Flickr feed while we were talking, and I did see specifically a Darth Raven figure. I'll throw it up on the screen so that everyone can
I
see
made
it right
2
now.
Revens though. That's probably my. Is the
this
one
your older
painted?
It's not painted.
Oh yeah, that's my new one. That's my most recent one.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to that cloth on the back, is that also sculpted? Is the
That's
the
all.
cape
Yeah,
also
that's all
sculpted?
sculpted.
How durable is that? Is that?
I've been wondering that too.
Well, I haven't thrown it around my room much, so it's pretty steady actually.
Because we've been doing like our own little project with like kind of reimagining Bionicle as like a system theme, and I've tried like kind of hand sculpting some of the mask like designs that we've made, and it's difficult to keep it from like kind of breaking. So I was wondering how durable this material was for you. There's a lot of really small scale stuff.
Yeah, on the Revan, you can actually perfectly see how durable it is. The hood specifically and the mask are 2 separate pieces. I sculpted the mask first and then the hood on top of that, and was then just able to peel off the hood without it cracking or tearing apart. But you have to be really careful, though.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like you're able to get the material really thin.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice. All right.
So we're primarily, we're lots of things on this channel, but and since we're towards the end there, I'm gonna let loose here and just ask a little bit about do you have any Bionicle? Do you have that?
Yes, I do.
Do you like that? Do you like those guys?
Are you a Bonkle fan?
Are you a Bonkle man?
Can't dunkle the bonkle.
All right. So what do you have of Bionicle? Really? Do you have like a huge collection or?
Well, I used to have a big collection, but now I have the original Toamadas on display on my shelf. They're still my favorite Bionicles ever. They're the first. My first one was Lua. He's still my favorite. Liwa. Is that how you say it?
That's been
that's a debate. I said Lua for ages.
It's a source of controversy.
I've never heard that iteration though. Lua?
Lua? Yeah.
Have you ever heard Lua?
No, you've never heard Lua?
No, I've never heard that.
That's
before.
why I used to say for ages.
For me,
Because
was
it's like
Leva
Dew, like
the
Mountain
entire
Dew,
time.
and it's like Lua.
Leva. That's not right at all.
I don't
Lua
know,
is the official
You
pronunciation.
can make an argument for Lua being canon, right? Because like
Right.
several of the commercials and everything called him Lua. Technically, the canon's Liwa because of the what Greg says is Liwa. He's
Wasn't it Layla though? Didn't Greg say Layla?
no, he
And
didn't.
then
Did he?
I'm pretty
No.
sure it was like Lay Coro.
All
It
right,
was
well,
Layla.
see, here you go.
Something like that.
Just goes to show.
So what is it?
Pronounces-
Lewa?
Liwa is how it's usually pronounced, I think,
Liwa,
by most
okay.
of the fan base. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's still my favorite. Then I have one set that actually survived the years is the what was it again? Glatorian.
Oh yeah,
something.
the guy with the Guy Fairy
the
haircut.
big axe.
Skrull.
Strack. Skrull was the guy with the shield. The
I don't know,
bad
the
guy.
ice guy.
Yeah.
The ice guy with the axe.
Yeah,
The ice guy that looks like a proto Hero Factory. Almost.
Yeah, that's.
I actually like him. He's my favorite character.
I like
from
him too.
that set. I love him.
Did you ever
I think
get?
I think he's fine.
Did you ever
This
get
guy,
any
right?
Hero Factory ever, Sander?
Accidentally, yes.
Oh, which one? Do you
It
remember?
was a red one.
Oh,
It's in my bin somewhere. I took it
oh,
apart.
okay.
Like is this just Strack you're looking for?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Strack
was
always fascinated me because you can kind of see like the beginnings of like where the Hero Factory design kind of started with the way they did his face and everything.
Yeah, I love his axe.
His axe is pretty cool.
Alright. So I want to ask. I have personally one more thing that I want to ask you, just for the curiosity's sake.
Yes.
And you guys, and you and Var and John, you don't say anything. All right. So Sander, if you had to make another one of the main Toa characters, if you had to make one of them a girl, which one would it be?
Oh God, why do you ask me these questions?
You obviously don't know about one
You mean-
thing here. No, just one of them. Not Golly, but like all the other ones, you have to pick
Yeah.
one
Which
of them.
one would become a girl?
Yeah, which one would just completely change their gender for like the lore and everything?
Kopaka?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, no. I like Kopaka.
Do you have a
I don't like girls, so
Marv,
gotta cut that out.
Marv, do you have a quick picture of
No,
like
no, Pohatu, definitely.
Oh,
Pohatu.
Do you have
I'll
like
pull one up.
yeah, that thing with the Danny Phantom style like picture?
Wadden linked a what female Kopaka would look like.
Oh yeah, they already did. Disney already did. There you go.
Let it go. Let it go. I've got this picture on hand.
Yeah, just show. Yeah, there you go. Like that. That's.
Oh, this one.
There's one of like the I guess the prototypes for like the potential series of like new generation of BioNicle, and there you see like what the iteration of this is. You know, this is what primarily TTV is working on right now when it comes to BioNicle. Or this is
That's
just
our like
Bar, though.
TV
Nice.
show kind of pitch idea. In that pitch, though, Liwa is female. So-
Yeah, Liwa was the one. That was I was
Liwa was,
gonna say what you said. Just for funsies. And and with that said, do you guys have before we wrap this up? Do you guys have any closing questions? We got one question earlier asking about whether you like cheese, Sander.
I'm not a cheese guy.
All right, there you go. That's for it.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll take some questions from the chat in a bit. I wanted to highlight something that you didn't touch upon, X, but I really admired.
Do it.
And that's just because I'm me. I absolutely loved your Iron Man sculpture from Civil War. I was looking at this and like, boy, this is incredible. Let me ask you about the mask. Does it actually like slide up on the face
no,
like that?
There's
or?
a little hook on the inside that attaches to the extruding top. Let me try and draw this out. I would have done it differently right now. I would have used magnets because magnets are awesome.
So do you?
Nor even talking about magnets. The more I want them to see them using everything now.
yeah,
Like,
I know, right?
I'm basically using them in everything now. I'm working on a figure on my character from Destiny, and in Destiny they can put their weapons on their back when they're in a social space. And my favorite gun that I made in Lego scale can actually stick on the back of my figure because I embedded a magnet in the back and a
Dude,
magnet
that
on
is
the
so
side of
cool.
the gun. Yeah,
Do you
I'm very happy with that.
slightly related question. Do you do commissions?
Occasionally.
All
Right
right,
now-
there you go. You hear that, audience? You want something?
Right now, I don't.
This is the guy you harass on Twitter, right here. That's
well, right now he doesn't. But if you go to avfigures.com,
Yes.
is that it?
yeah. If you you can
avfigures.com,
literally
you can get the
buy
stuff he's
Sanders'
already
work.
worked on. So yeah, you can literally buy his work there.
Well, it's
If you want
not up
something
for
custom-
sale yet. It's going to be up for sale in the next 2 months or so because he's still
2 months?
setting up his
Okay.
business.
So come back in 2 months and we'll have this up
Get in
again.
there,
We'll-
guys. Patience.
Free advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Free
those who wait.
This
like,
episode brought to you by avfigures.com, home of the best custom
in
figure content
two
on the web.
months, they will be ready. You know, those who wait like for something good eventually. Is there's like a saying something? I don't know.
You heard it.
Good
You
things
heard it
come
here,
to those
folks.
who wait.
Now's
That's
the
what
time to start
you're
saving
trying
up
to
your money. So go over to those
Yeah,
stores,
exactly.
start stealing some Legos, reselling them, so you can save up and buy some new customs. It'll be great.
Yes.
Don't steal, kids. Don't steal.
So, Rebellious Robot has a lot of questions from her on YouTube. You kind of touched upon how long it takes to sculpt a figure
Yes.
earlier, but he asks, what resources do you use to modify parts? Is it literally just the Swiss knife? Is that it?
I use a lot of sandpaper, fitting with my name, I suppose.
So you do sand some
Okay.
stuff.
Haha.
Gotcha.
Sanders
no.
sanding
I
this?
sand all of my figures. All of the
Gotcha.
like I didn't do it on Iron Man because that was a commission and the guy asked me not to sand the sides. But usually I sand around the waist of the entire figure alongside the legs, so they are a lot thinner. And then I sculpt around the entire body.
Sander, I actually did something crazy here. I found a Lego creation that you actually posted to your Flickr. So for everyone out there who's going to complain that Sander can't build, he can. There you go. Here's a speeder from Destiny, and you got it. That's extra mark, yeah.
Extra mark.
Extra mark. After all,
Look at this.
Ironically, I tore that build down 2 weeks after I posted it, but yes.
Oh.
well, there's the proof right there.
I have more proof. Hang on, here it is.
Oh.
There you go.
Ooh, wow, that thing is dusty.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's been
I
on my
thought
shelf
my
for a
Lego
while.
was dusty, dude.
And that's the
That was a
dust
design
charger
thing.
from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted the car to go alongside my figure. That guy's been in the back of my shelf for the last 2 months.
X, don't
3
you
months.
realize it can't be dust? It's the shavings from all the things that he's been sanding.
It's the ash.
It's got to go
Yeah.
somewhere, man.
But
They just
when
he
Ghost
just has a
Rider,
car under,
he's
there
the
you
spirit
go.
of vengeance. All the ashes of the people that were vengeance.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When he plows through him and stuff. The Robbie Reyes, right? Robbie Reyes,
Yep.
Ghost Rider, not the
Yes.
Johnny Blaze motorcycle.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
dude.
So this is really
We don't
awesome,
talk
though.
about Nicolas Cage.
Oh
All right.
So, Sander,
Yes.
there's probably some people out here that has been impressed by this work. If they want to follow what you do, what is the best way for them to keep up with everything that's going on with you?
Primarily Flickr, but I also occasionally hang out on Instagram,
All right.
mainly to look at other people's stuff because they upload on there a lot.
Okay. So we'll probably link to your Instagram and Flickr down in the bottom. So you guys can
Yes.
check that out. If you have a Flickr or an Instagram and you want to follow Sander's work and maybe buy it in 2 months, then there you go.
That's the place
Totally
to go.
do that. That's
Yeah.
the place to be.
Please,
And
I need
definitely
money
if-
for food.
Yeah, this is
Don't we all?
either that or he's going to have to Breaking Bad and like go and steal a bunch of
Right.
Star Wars sets from
Hey,
Walmart.
I'm not selling the Millennium Falcon. I'm sorry, that's mine.
Oh, which
I
one?
love the idea of someone like getting like you steal like one of the bags from Lego and return it back and like you get a custom minifigure in it and they're like, well, this is actually better, so I'm gonna keep this.
Why would you do something like that?
Why would you steal Lego, Var?
Selling is
I mean-
bad.
Stealing is bad, everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Stealing is
Yeah.
wrong. Anyway.
Ugh.
All right, well, that's the place to go. Do we have anything else to talk about before we wrap up?
I think we covered just about everything.
Is that just about
alright.
everything?
Yeah,
Oh,
and I want
right.
to. I guess we'll have to thank Sander for chilling out with us today. He was a
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very,
man. Thanks so
very
much.
first
Thank you
guest
very
on
much.
BrickFeed.
You have the
you.
prestigious
No pressure
honor of being
but
there.
you did it.
Yeah.
Did
No
it.
pressure.
Yeah,
You
it
did
was
very
nice.
well. It's nice to have like actual talented people on here sometimes. You know?
Wow! I also make figures, man.
Yeah, way to throw X under the bus, dude. And me, all my like BrickOnicle designs and everything. All right, cool, fine. Speak,
you heard me.
Speak for yourself.
You heard
buddy.
me, guys.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Oh wait,
to...
dude.
What?
He's in our first guest. Princess is right. We had Just Too Good on, didn't we?
Oh, on BrickFeed?
Oh, we totally did.
We did.
Yeah,
on
X
BrickFeed.
wasn't there. You're right.
I forgot that was
I
BrickFeed.
missed it. I didn't know.
You're right.
Do we have
I
Swirt too? Wow, we have forgotten all about.
not to take away from our previous guest. Thank you guys for being here.
Okay.
To be fair, I feel like X was the one saying it, and for all intents and purposes, he is X's first guest.
Yay!
Sure.
Yay!
That
I was
Very
right,
nice.
kind of. Yay, we swing
There we
that
go.
around.
Yeah, no, you're still
I
right.
am correct.
Yeah, the first
Objectively.
guest of 2018. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That's the way to put it, right? Yeah, so.
That's it. All right.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the BrickFeed Podcast. As always, if you liked our podcasts or anything else we do, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can go to our archive channel and check out the full version of this podcast. You can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel, and you can go to our message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. Discuss these and other things further. As always, again, you can catch Sander at his Instagram or Flickr. They're down in the description. And that's just about it. Oh, wait, you can also catch us in person at LEGO Live at New York City.
LEGO Live, guys.
LEGO Live is coming up.
It's
It's like,
Except for me, yay!
it is literally next
Purple
week,
won't be there,
1 week
and-
from now. 15th. We're going to be there. It's from the 16th through the 18th. We're going to be there from the 15th through the 19th. So if you want to do anything, if you're around that area, just let us know. And,
New York
we'll try to
City.
meet up.
Pier
New York City or
36.
bust.
Lego
Pier
Live.
36.
Be there. Go to the booth section. We are going to be all over that booth section. So
We're going
it'll
to be
great.
literally all
It's
over
gonna be
that. So,
boosted. Yay!
Literally
great.
all over it. We practically designed it. We did design it.
we did design it.
We're managing the whole
very,
thing.
very long,
Be there.
arduous design.
Be there, guys. It'll be awesome.
Goodbye. We'll see you guys next week. Farewell.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Think of it
Say
differently
goodbye
now.
again.
Was it goodbye again?
Yes.
Did we say who we were? We didn't say who we were.
No,
John.
yeah, we did.
You're right. That's my bad. I got caught
John,
up in
say
the
who you are,
hype.
John.
I'm John.
I'm Bar.
I'm Exex Trooper.
I'm the better sender.
All right. Okay.
Oh, got one big thrown.
Today on opinions, but yeah.
Well, we already
Talent
established you don't have any talent.
Yeah.
Goodbye. See you guys later.